Everybody, this is Jennifer Schaus, and thanks for joining us in our Webinar Wednesday series. Today is December 19th, and this is our final webinar for the day and for the year. So we're glad that you're with us, and hopefully you joined in with some of the other webinars that we had earlier today. Our series for 2018 included all complimentary webinars. They're all recorded and posted on our website. The speakers range from attorneys to accountants and other industry experts who are sharing their knowledge about government contracting. You can also find our webinars on our YouTube channel. You can find the PowerPoints on slideshare.net, which I believe also feeds into our LinkedIn profile. Some upcoming events for 2019 include 2 classes in January. One obviously listed here, January 15th, on teaming and partnering in subcontracting. And later in the month is a class on GSA Schedule. To get to those links, you can go to our website and go to the event section. We also do have advertising opportunities in our newsletter, which now reaches 13,000 plus unique subscribers. And we are introducing advertising opportunities in our 2019 webinar series. A little bit about us. We are based in downtown DC and provide professional services for federal contractors, both large and small, domestic and foreign, product and service companies. Our services range from training to proposal writing, GSA Schedule, some of the certifications, post-award services, and more. You can find more about our services, events, and conferences on our website listed there. This is just a short slide on my background. And today we are talking about subcontracting with GSA schedule holders. I really enjoy talking about this topic because 2 biggest components of our business are helping companies get onto the schedule, and the other piece is really the business development and helping companies that wish to take the path of subcontracting. So I laid out here a very short agenda. We'll go through a GSA schedule overview, a subcontracting overview, and then kind of some hands-on tips and tools to identify GSA partners. I'll make some concluding remarks. And as we mentioned, the webinars are recorded, so you can find those on our website or the YouTube channel, probably tomorrow or at the latest Friday. Okay, so the GSA schedule overview. GSA schedule is only a contract vehicle. It's a marketing tool and absolutely not required to do business with the government. You've got about 20,000 companies that hold the GSA schedule, but 63% of them, more than half, have 0 sales through their schedule. Now, they may have millions of dollars of sales elsewhere, but specifically through their schedule, the numbers kind of come in at about 63%. So this is pretty much the 80-20 rule, where the top 20% of the entities are doing the bulk of the work. There's a middle tier that gets some, and then plenty of companies there, obviously, without any sales through their schedule. The whole focus of the GSA schedule is for GSA to negotiate with the companies and secure their lowest prices. The GSA rates are going to be a price ceiling, and you can find the prices if you're selling services on the CALC.GSA.GOV site. If you're selling products, then it's going to be on the GSA.Advantage.gov site. Why do I mention this, and why is this slide up here? Because if you're going to be subcontracting, particularly service companies, with larger entities, they are simply going to dictate rates to you. So you may go on to the CALC.GSA.GOV site and see that Northrop Grumman or Lockheed or L3 or Raytheon or whoever it is that you're potentially willing to contract with has program managers, and you also are selling, have staff equipped to be program managers. And let's say that their rate on the CALC site comes in for program manager level 3 with 10 years of experience and a bachelor's degree comes in at $150. Well, they're probably bidding on their contract that maybe, depending upon quantity and volume and the overall dollar amount of the contract, let's just say they're bidding at $147. So they're probably going to dictate a rate to you that's going to be less than that. So keep that in mind as you start doing some research as far as which entities you want to work with. Those GSA rates are a price ceiling, so what they will dictate to you will be lower than what's on that CALC site. Okay, so subcontracting, just overall, not just GSA schedules, but SBA dictates some small business goals. Those are annual goals that agencies need to meet. So federal agencies directly should be awarding approximately 24% to small businesses, and then the prime contractors need to parse out about 36% to small businesses. So the 36% for the subcontracting, that's with the primes. This is one great way just to kind of start getting your foot into the door. It helps you build that past performance, the experience, the qualifications, and being part of a team. Sometimes you're lucky enough to actually have people on site at federal agencies. Again, that goes into the relationship building. Sometimes it's the same amount of effort as it would be going direct, but usually if you are a sub to a prime, they've got the relationship that's been in place for many years, and so you'll see some quicker results. As I mentioned earlier, the primes are going to dictate the rates to you, and that again is really, it doesn't matter if it's GSA Schedule or not, that's just kind of how they operate. They know what their margins need to be, and so sometimes it's a take it or leave it situation. Some resources for subcontracting, looking at FPDS and USA spending. Our website under the resources section has the list of the top 100 contractors per agency. You probably then want to take that, pick a couple, and go to FPDS and find out what agencies they're working on or working in, what opportunities they're working on that are coming up for recompete. Then go to their website and register. Do your homework on them. Don't just call them and say, hey, we'd like to be a subcontractor. You really need to bring something to the table. Some other resources that are out there within every agency, you're going to have the OSDBU office. They are your small business advocates. And then within the prime and large businesses, you will have the SBLOs. Same function. They are really looking for qualified companies that they like and trust, that are on the same page as them to subcontract with. So some tips and tools to identify these are going to be GSA schedule holder partners. So a very specific subset of subcontracting. So there's going to be 9 steps in total. The first 4 we'll look at here, which are identifying the appropriate schedule. So what schedule do you fall under? Right now, GSA has about 24 different schedules, all segmented by what your product or your service is. These are going to be consolidated into one schedule coming soon. GSA just announced this at the end of November, but still you will need to identify what it is you are selling, what you qualify for. And then within every schedule, there are special item numbers that further identify at a more granular level what it is you are providing. Then you want to review the list of the vendors and look at the socio-economic indicator. That's going to indicate, is the business small, is it women-owned, veteran-owned, hub zone, 8A, or other. Other will mean large. Large means they need to parse out 36% to small businesses. So how do we do that? Let's take a look. You'll go to the GSA eLibrary site, which is elibrary.gsa.gov. The top right-hand corner, you will select a contract vehicle, which you'll select the GSA schedules. You'll scroll down, and for demonstration purposes today only, we're going to select Schedule 70, which you can see highlighted there in the bottom right-hand corner. Schedule 70 is for general purpose IT products and services. You'll select that. It'll then take you to all of the special item numbers for Schedule 70. And on the left-hand side, you will then see these SIN numbers. And let's say you are providing IT professional services, which is the 132-51. GSA has it listed there as category, but these again are the SIN numbers, the special item numbers. So you'll then click on the red number 132-51. It's a hyperlink, and it will then pop up this page, which is going to be a list of the 3,595 contractors that are on this particular schedule, but more specifically that have this particular SIN. The third column from the right is the socioeconomic indicator, which will indicate, again, S for small, V for veteran, D for disadvantage, 8A for 8A, H for hub zone, O for other. Other means large. Large business, again, means they need to parse out approximately 36% of their business to small businesses. So before you start calling them, because their phone number is there, or emailing them, if you click on their price list, you really want to do that homework which is, and we continue here with the steps, going on to FPDS or USA Spending to look at the past performance. What agencies are they selling to? What contracts do they have that are coming up for renewal? Go to the CALC site that I mentioned. Look at their rates. If their rates are well below yours, then the rates that they're going to dictate to you are going to be even further below that. You want to register on their company website. Most of these will have, as I mentioned, perhaps somebody listed as the SBLO, the Small Business Liaison Officer. They're also going to have a spot preferably for you to upload your capability statement. So make sure, again, that it's not just something generic. Make sure it's specific to either an agency opportunity that they're working on or some specific opportunity that you're going to be bringing to them. And that kind of wraps in 7, 8, and 9. Some concluding remarks here. There's a lot of companies that are very successful in federal contracting, and it's not because they did just one specific thing, and not because they're just great marketers or they're great systems engineers, or just because they're 8A, or just because they have a GSA schedule, or just because they're at every conference or event. It really takes time, it takes grit, it's doing all of these things day in, day out, and really just that grit, I think, really is speaks to kind of what makes successful government contractors. And just because they're on the GSA schedule does not mean that they have $1 million contracts. Just because they're a large contractor does not mean that they have $1 million or more going through their schedule. They may not. So make sure that you do some due diligence here to do the homework before you contact them. And again, you're not the only one contacting them, so you need to do something that's adding value, showing that you have done the homework, that you do know who they are, what contracts they've won in the past, and what's coming up on their table for renewal. If you've got questions about either getting onto the schedule, partnering, or subcontracting with others, if you want a copy of the slides, again, as I mentioned, and as all of our webinars we post the recording on our website. It should be up by tomorrow, if not the latest Friday. It's also on our YouTube channel, and the slides are on slideshare.net. Again, give us a day or two to get those up. We did quite a few webinars today. Thanks for joining us, and Merry Christmas to everybody.